All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So today, this is for the parents, not for the kids. This is for mom, this is for dad. So let me ask you real quick, mom, dad, do you find yourself sometimes getting into some heated arguments or some really challenging conversations or just really not understanding what is going through their head? Well, I want to talk with you just briefly about a couple concepts. One of them is called masculine, one of them is called feminine. And I know in our society there's this idea of, well, everyone should be completely equal about everything all the time. And I appreciate that energy and that intention, but I'm going to offer a slight counter to that or a slight support to that, which is, yes, everyone should be equal and everyone should have equal value and equal say and equal measure, but not all energy treats things or interacts with things equally the same. Right? My daughter is 18 months, and at this point, she is absolutely a girly girl. Anytime she gets anything long enough to like put around her neck, she's like, I'm wearing a thing. And she walks around and she prances, and she's got to go look at herself in the mirror and see what's happening. And then she like likes to check out her outfits and just, what do I look like and how is this? And nothing wrong with that. That's just who she is. Okay. Now, is that the way she's going to be her whole entire life? We'll find out. She's still young. We'll figure it. But it's the idea that masculine tends to behave along certain lines, feminine tends to behave along certain lines, and the really cool thing is we all have some measure of masculine and feminine within us. Being masculine, being feminine has nothing to do with being heterosexual or being homosexual. That's a secondary system, right? Who you find attractive as a person is secondary to the energy you have inside, right? At one point I sat down with a client, we were having a conversation about gender stuff. I came up with like 63 different genders flavors, if you will, between masculine and feminine and neutral, because there are some people that are neutral or asexual, between heterosexual and homosexual and some variations therein, between people that are attracted to monogamous relationships, polyamorous relationships, triad relationships, whatever they can get themselves into or get into them, they'll go for it. I don't judge, I just look at what's going on, what are the patterns, what's the pains, and where is it you say you want to go, and do these things align or not. If they don't align, we probably should make some changes. If they do align, you don't need to talk to me, your life is going pretty good. Make sense? So go to this idea of masculine, feminine. Now, one of the things that happens between masculine and feminine is we can put on a role that's not our true nature. We can go into a place and function. In a lot of work environments, a lot of feminine women have to go and act like masculine, and they have to put on this mask and be a certain way and don't cry and don't feel and don't get over emotional. And personally, I think that's a detriment, because I think feminine energy brings you a very unique perspective and a very open perspective that's very helpful in the business world. But the challenge is when they keep that energy very rigid, very solid, under wraps, and then they go home and try to just immediately switch into mom mode, and it's hard because they're still running those masculine processes. See, for masculine, give you a quick way to experience the two really fast. Take your hands like this, find the base of your palms, put them on the side of your head, and then from here, just dial it down to about an inch away and look straight forward, look around the room, right? This is kind of masculine energy in a generalization. It's more of a triangle, single point focus, but masculine energy deletes things to focus in on one thing and get the thing done, it's over, it's finished, and then move on. Masculine has a really hard time being interrupted because of all this energy going this way, and you pull it, rah, all this energy suddenly spins at you, and it's a lot of explosion, right? On the other side, feminine though, feminine is sort of, it's called diffuse awareness, but it's sort of like omni-aware, right? So feminine, instead of being triangle, is more open like this. And by the way, when I teach self-defense, this is also a useful metaphor. This is your peripheral vision, being aware of the environment. And this is more of your tactical vision, dialing in. And you want to know when to use which, because when you're being attacked in a multiple person situation, you do not want a tunnel vision. Because then you lose the environment and you lose other actors to the occasion. That can be dangerous. So there's ways we can help you to disassociate and keep your awareness of the environment. But that's a conversation for another day. So this idea of feminine awareness, imagine, you know, a young lady, a feminine woman is sitting watching TV, and there's a pile of laundry sitting right about there. And while she's watching TV, the laundry is going, hello, hello, hello. And eventually, even while she's trying to watch TV, this stuff will get to her and and she's got to fold it and clean it and put it away. She just has to, it's a compulsion. But for a masculine man, you know, masculine person watching television and they're totally in their masculine, the pile of laundry, here's where the pile of laundry is. It's sitting right about here. It's trying to do this and can't see it. Don't even notice it. Don't even feel it. It's just not there and it just goes away. So then the feminine woman comes in and says, what are you doing? And the guy's like, watching TV. And the woman's like, why aren't you folding laundry? Oh, hey, there's laundry. I didn't even notice. I was watching TV. And see, for a masculine brain, watching TV is a process. Watching TV and folding laundry is a different process. We can do both, but we kind of need some prompting to do that sometimes, or some increased awareness. And this is, guys are trainable, but it's that idea that masculine can go, oh, I'll do both of these, that's cool, and then do both of those, right? But for feminine to have to ask is sort of an affront. It's like, oh, really? I have to ask you to take care of things around the house? What? No, I love taking care of things around the house. I was just watching TV. And it's not masculine, being a child or evading, right? Masculine energy is not hairy feminine, and feminine energy are not hairless men, right? And thanks Alison Armstrong for the metaphors. But it's the idea that masculine and feminine are unique energies. They're unique ways of doing things that each have a benefit, each add value. So we need to kind of respect each other's space and understand how to work inside each other's space. So when masculine comes from work mode and then comes home, to be in home mode, masculine generally needs about 10 to 20, sometimes 30 minutes to switch gears. That's why the old stereotype of the 1950s, the dad comes home, gets his beer or his alcohol, sits down, reads the paper for a little while, right? It's not a sexist, you think you're better than me thing, although for a lot of people it was that way. The reality on an energetic level is masculine needs to shift gears from work mode to home mode. And then home mode, great, I can engage, can play, can do all these things. But hit a masculine source of energy when it's still running in business mode, you're going to get business treatment. And then the family gets upset, feelings get hurt. So if a woman comes home in her masculine energy and she's immediately bombarded with stuff, there's going to be a very unpleasant experience on both sides. So she needs some sort of a cleansing ritual to get back into her feminine. And maybe it's she goes upstairs and gets into some pink frilly clothes and puts on a robe and does things that makes her feel more girly and more connected to her feminine core. Maybe take a bubble bath, maybe, I don't know, listen to some music, maybe dance. Maybe she and her husband or her significant other, they have a ritual where one's masculine, one's feminine, and they meet each other and they repolarize each other, right? They connect, they kiss, they lock heads, touch foreheads and eyes to eyes and just say, babe, I'm so glad you're home. The queen has returned. They make some sort of excitement about it. Then by having that specific ritual, oh, I feel more centered, I feel more grounded, I feel more relaxed. Life is good again, yay. Does this make sense? Masculine is the same thing. I come home, especially when I'm in work mode, I come home and I'm like, if Autumn was not at work with me, she's home, I'll be like, babe, I just need about 15 minutes to clear the cache, is that okay? And I will go, and if there's an emergency I need to deal with, I'll deal with it. But if not, then I'm gonna go take a shower, I'm gonna literally wash the day away from me and just be like, okay, it's over, it's done. I am now home, and I am now present. And when I get out of that shower, I am a much more centered, happy, stable husband versus whatever's been going on at work or whatever's going on at the school or online or this or that. I'm just present for her differently. And so she knows if she wants the best out of me, give me that 10 to 15 minutes to reset. Now, if there is a crisis or an emergency, the kids are going crazy and she's like, look, I need to get out and just chill. Cool, I got that. A lot of times though, we're coming to get the kids together and we've built our life such that we do have a lot of quality time together on purpose. Quality time is like our number one love language. So having those opportunities to get together and be on the same page, I don't have to do a lot of this cleansing stuff because I'm kind of in the right place sort of all day long. But that's what I want to offer you today is just this idea. Start noticing, are you running more in your masculine, running more in your feminine? A. B, where do you want to be? Because maybe you're a man who is more feminine. Maybe you're a woman who's more masculine. There's nothing wrong with that. Own that energy. Own that realization. I like making words weird sometimes. So own that realization, own yourself, and just say, this is who I am, right? That polarity, when you and your partner both have good polarity with each other, the passion increases. You can have a lot of love, but the polarity gets off and you're great roommates. And there's not a lot of intimacy and a lot of excitement and juice to this relationship. Get your polarities there. And please understand also, two moms, two dads, you can still have a polarity in there. You can have a more masculine source of energy and a more feminine source of energy. And sometimes couples can have polarities switching, right? Autumn and I, because how she grew up and being in the business world as long as she has a very easy access to her masculine. I was in an unhealthy relationship and I learned to be in my feminine. But now having access to both those energies, we can kind of ride the tide and make changes with each other and for each other. When she's in a stronger place, I can take that more soft flowing and I can expand the situation. I can bring her back to her heart. But sometimes if she's storming or I'm storming, then we can take the masculine role and be solid for each other and stable and problem solve and execute and help that stuff just get out of our systems. So being with somebody who can change her polarity for me is like massively important, right? I tried relationships where somebody only had one polarity and it didn't work because I'm not always in that solid polarity. Sometimes I get into the unstable and I'm like in my feminine, I'm just like, expanding things that really don't need to be expanded at the moment. And I need someone who can help center me for a few, right? But be honest with yourself, be honest with your spouse. And I think you'll find that when you and your spouse begin to have these conversations, it can get scary in the first, but make an agreement with each other. Look, babe, I love you and I want to serve you at the highest levels. I want to like own your soul. So I need to be honest with you. I need you to be honest with me. And it may not be easy to hear, but if it's the truth, I can deal with it. And if you're willing to make that covenant with each other, you will find a lot more depth to your marriage and a lot more depth to your relationship. And I know for me and for Autumn, it's been like the greatest relationship ever of our whole entire lives. And in my opinion, we're still getting started. And I'll be saying that at 15 and 20 and 30 and 60 years. I'll still be saying, and we're just getting started. Because in my mind, there's so much more to go between the two of us. And understanding love and connection and service and growth and expansion and all that fun stuff. So you make it a fantastic day. And this one a little bit long, but I'll see you when I see you. And you make it an outstanding day.